So today I'm here in Detroit, meeting up with a friend of mine, and I wanted to introduce you guys to him, so I'm bringing you along for the ride. And there he is now. Brian Barczyk. You guys will know him from Steak Bites TV or potentially Animal Bites TV. I'm here to hang out with him for a couple of days. You could probably introduce yourself better than I could. Tell him who you are and what we're here to do.
All right, so we're gonna just have a good time. First, we're here at my shop. We're about to go in, and there's a ton of reptiles, snakes, and some alligator, all kinds of creepy, crawly, awesome animals. So we're gonna have a great time with that. We're also gonna take a couple trips to some other cool places with some aquarium stuff. So you guys are gonna love that too. And just welcome to my world.
All right, so obviously the first thing we're gonna need to do is get a quick tour of his facility, see what he's got here. So, Brian, as you know, there's a massive amount of crossover between our two hobbies, between the aquarium hobby and the reptile hobby, especially ball pythons. So today, I really want to see what all the fuss is about. Show me what some of your favorite snakes are, or even teach me a little bit about them. Because I got to tell you, people are hounding me to build things for the reptile hobby and kind of expand to that. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, so, basically a couple things is, I can never, I'm sure you're the same way. I can't pick a favorite. I love them all, so I'm just going to show you some stuff that I think is cool, and you guys can decide if you think they're cool or not. I don't know, but we work with all kinds of different animals, and we'll show you some ball python stuff. We'll show you some what they call colubrids, which are more your North American or Central American animals that we work with anyways. Some Asiatic stuff as well. But this is an albino Honduran milk snake, and again, this is I always call them, they're like the candy cane snakes because they look like a little candy cane. And these guys are really typically pretty chill. This one's a little bit hyper, but normally they're really good. They don't really bite. They're really good, and they get about 6-7 foot long, about maybe this big around, and I just think they're really gorgeous animals. So one of the things that we do here is we do what we call like paint jobs. You know what I mean? So we're taking a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and we're making something else. So we're going to take some grays, we're going to take some reds, we're going to create paint jobs on these beautiful living art, essentially, is what it is. And there's all kinds of different examples of that. This would be another milk snake, but that has a little bit different color scheme. Instead of red and white, it's kind of like this beige color. When these guys are born,
That's beautiful.
believe it or not, they're red and purple. So I mean, that's what makes them so cool. And again, there's all kinds of different genetic stuff going on. There's stuff like recessive and codominant. This happens to be what they call allelic. So there's all kinds of stuff going on here. This is a pretty cool snake here. Check this one. It almost looks like 3 different snakes, doesn't it? It's like a red head, a greenish body, and then going back to a red tail. And they actually call these 100-flower rat snakes from China. So
They bite?
That's
the one thing about snakes and me is like, do they bite? I'll touch it if it don't bite. He looks like he bites.
As long as you stay away from the pokey end, you're okay. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. Listen, all snakes can bite, but they're not. They don't want to bite. They're defensive about it and stuff like that. I gotta show you this one, dude. This one, you're gonna love this thing. This is actually called a rhino rat snake.
Look at his head.
I know, right? Isn't that thing cool? And of course, they call them rhinos because of that little appendage there, and they use that appendage, much like some fish would do to lure things in, right? And they lure birds in because these guys are going to be up in the trees. They lure the birds in. As the birds come in and think it's like maybe some little larva, caterpillar, or something like that, bam! Then they hit them and they eat them. So it's super cool. I love rhino rats. These guys are from Vietnam actually as well. These are another really beautiful snake here. Just jet black, glossy black snake, and this is what they would call a Mexican black king snake. And this is an adult here. This is as big as it gets. And as you can see, the majority of these guys are super placid, really really great animals. Although we do have a couple of these guys that do like to bite a little bit.
Yeah, they all look like they like to bite a little bit.
Like this guy in particular, he's a fired up guy. This guy will bite you in a heartbeat if you give him the opportunity. You want me to get bit?
If you want to get bit.
Watch, he'll bite me in a second.
Oh, did he ever?
Oh gosh. Come off my hands. There it is. There it goes. And there you go.
Yeah. That's why I don't own snakes.
Listen, they don't normally bite
No,
like that.
yeah.
So that one, this, as a matter of fact, you see the little star up here?
Yeah.
That specifically means
Yeah.
this guy will bite you.
You also have geckos. You've got you got the gator downstairs. I heard it's Thanksgiving here in the United States.
It's Thanksgiving,
We
so
should go down and
yeah.
what do you think you got anything to feed them?
You know, I tell you what, I do have something to feed them, and I think that you're going to help me. So let's go check that
Oh
out.
no. What's his name? RJ? He's an American alligator?
He's an American alligator, yeah.
So it looks like we're gonna feed RJ. American alligator.
That's right. Not only are we is the key term. I'm going to feed one, you're going to feed the other. So I just have to get some tongs because I don't want you to lose any fingers. I haven't had anyone here yet that has lost any fingers, so I don't want you to be the first one. RJ.
You go
Might have
for
missed
it.
that.
Really?
Yeah.
I got it. Oh, do you hear that?
That is nasty.
Did you hear the crunching?
All right, that was
disgusting.
awesome. The crunching was great. That was something you don't hear when you're feeding just rodents off, you know. So that was awesome. That just gives you an idea of the pressure.
Yeah.
So think of that noise when you're feeding it this next wing, because that noise
That could
you
be
don't
my
want it to be
finger.
your finger.
Yeah. You think so?
I think you'll be fine.
It feels flimsy.
There it goes. Happy Thanksgiving, RJ.
Yeah, he says thank you.
Okay.
All right, so obviously I'm not going to be able to show you everything Brian has. He has over 10,000 animals here. However, if you do want to check him out, I'm going to leave a link to his channel in the description below. I'd appreciate it if you subscribe, give him some love and support. He does some amazing videos. He's actually one of my favorite channels.
Come here. Oh, come on, RJ. What are you doing, silly?
RJ the alligator.
Come here, bud.
Oh!
Come here. Sometimes you just gotta get him into a spot where he's wanting to come out.
He's quite tame.
There you go, bud. This is RJ. And he's my buddy. I actually take him out. He's literally like a puppy dog. I take him out all the time and play with him. And as you can see, no restraints on his mouth. Nothing. Oh, he'll hiss, but he's just a little baby, aren't you? What you doing, you silly? But he's my buddy. Listen to him. But I've had RJ since he was a little baby. He was actually a rescue. And you can see when he was a baby, he got one of his legs bit off by another alligator. And so we rescued him, and he's been spending his days here with me.
He wants down. They were strong, eh?
Yeah. And all you're really trying to do is just support him really well.
Yeah, okay.
And other than that, you're fine.
What's wrong, buddy?
It's pretty cool though, no?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like he's covered in leather, and underneath him is kind of squishy. But, it's a really cool eye. Brian also does this vlog, and yesterday I was on his vlog, and just a side story when you guys go watch that video. What we did was we kind of, he introduced me to these snakes, and one of the first ones I ever held was, it was actually the first one I ever held, was this white snake. And I thought that was our practice snake, like let Joey get used to the snake. So we get used to the snake, put it away, and you won't remember which one you touched after they closed it. There's so many, and we did it on the other side. But what happened was, we practiced this with this very nice, very calm snake, very easy to hold, which was amazing, by the way. We put it away, he turns the camera on, we go back to get this snake, he opens the drawer, and it's this big, massive black snake. I had to keep going with it, but in my mind I thought, that isn't what we practiced or rehearsed. So if you guys want to see that clip, go check out Brian's vlog channel. He does a great job. It's his separate channel. I'll leave a link in the description below for you guys to do so. But don't tease me.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. That's a ball python. So that's an adult?
That's an adult female ball python. Yep.
Wow.
There you go, girl.
So muscular. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, huh? So yeah, these are all different ball pythons throughout here. There's just, there's all kinds of stuff. That's, of course, a leucistic. This is an albino, which is, again, you got the red eyes, and it's lacking the black pigment, which are really, theoretically would be called amelanistic, because the black pigment is called melanin, and these guys are lacking melanin. But we in the hobby call them albinos, even though theoretically, from a scientific standpoint, they really should be called amelanistic. But again, there's all kinds of different ball pythons here, and then there's stuff like
You literally have over 10,000.
there's all kinds of things.
Like, how
this
would
is
you?
like this
Holy shit.
is what they call a spotted python.
Spotted.
And this is as large as it gets. So, a lot of times people think of pythons and they think, oh my God, they're going to be huge. But this is an adult adult python called a spotted python from Australia.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's as big as they get right here. This guy's about 8 years old. So, you can see he's really cool. And then there's even, stuff like these are called savu pythons from Indonesia. And take a look at these eyes. Those eyes are so cool. Just it's bright silvery eyes. So yeah, we love them, and again, that's as big as they get. They'll get a little bit bigger, but not a whole lot bigger. And then, whoa, come on, buddy, don't go away. And then, of course, we've got baby ball pythons. Because one of the things I'm definitely known for is ball pythons. Not that I work with a lot of. Sometimes snakes give you a hard time getting them back. I work with a ton of other stuff, but I'm kind of known for ball pythons. So we have a bunch of little babies of these guys, which are all really, really cool.
Yeah, these guys are
there's stuff like, there's just beautiful stuff like the spider banana ball python here.
Yeah.
Just really.
That feels just like the adult over there.
Exactly, the same type of thing, just a different, and there's just, all kinds of colors and flavors, and like I said, we call them paint jobs, but, these are all the same exact snake, they just look a little different because they have different genetic makeup in them, so yeah, I don't know, I think at last count there's like over 1,200 mutation ball pythons, different flavors. So it really is endless. If you want a yellow snake, you can get a yellow snake. You want a black snake, you get a black snake. If you want a purple snake, you can basically, as a matter of fact, speaking of purple snake, I have one that's almost pretty purple anyways, and that's this guy down here. Oh, almost dropped them. That wouldn't have been a good thing. This is actually what they call a banana super chocolate, and of course you can see all the purple color coming through with this guy. So and you can see these little black marks on them. That's actually a trait of bananas, that when they get bigger they start to get black splotches on them. So it's kind of neat. It's just like a pigment thing where as they get older they start to get more black pigment. So and if you can get comfortable with an animal of this size, you can get comfortable with any snake. Yeah, you're pulling that way. All right.
Probably doesn't want her head touched, eh?
Yeah, if you just let her kind of go like this, she's fine.
Amazing. Yeah, that's all she is meat. Muscle.
She's just muscle and bone, that's
There's
all
no,
she is.
do snakes carry fat with them?
Not in the way we think of it. Some snakes can get a little bit of fatty deposit when they're overfed, and that's why we try to keep most of our snakes pretty lean and mean, because we feel that that's the healthier way for them. They're not really, snakes aren't set up to have fatty deposits. They should be pretty much just all muscle.
Yeah, that's all I can feel. There's no give to her anywhere.
No, and when she wants to go in one direction, it's
She's
hard
going.
to stop her.
Yeah. Okay. We're good.
You good?
time to go home, Brian.
All right, man.
Thanks for having me. I'd hate to leave, but I love to get home.
Absolutely. It's been great having you, dude.
Yeah, man, it's been an amazing experience. I hope to come back at some point.
You're always welcome.
Thanks.